Hey everybody, I'm Warren. You know what? Fuck it, Aaron. We're not doing that over again. That's the intro, and we're sticking with it. I'm Warren.
Yeah.
This is Aaron.
Wait, what?
This is Movie Talk. Uh, Changing up the settings a little bit to play with a different format for this remote call, and a lot harder than it looks.
I have a question for the audience. Can you dig it?
Warriors.
That's a good quote.
That you know what? You look like that guy. You should totally be that guy for Halloween. And
I
this
have
is the
been
part in the
contemplating and
video.
talking.
This is the part of the video where if I don't see that guy popped in, superimposed, I'm gonna be very disappointed. He
I'm
absolutely
going to do a
looks
side by
just like
side.
that
I
guy.
have to. I'll find the perfect frame where we actually look the exact same.
I'm Warren, and that's Aaron. This is Movie Talk, and today we're talking about Get Out.
Woo!
Fucking frightening film. Absolutely
Oh,
scary.
yeah.
I grew up in a house where we would all watch scary movies, Hellraiser, Jason, Chucky, Freddy. So at a certain point, I got dead to it, but psychological horror films like this one still terrify the shit out of me. Like, I can
I
deal
think.
with Mask of the Phantasm and gore, but this kind of shit is like so plausible.
Oh, yeah. I think psychological horror really does stand the test of time more than gore, you know?
Oh yeah.
I mean, a lot of effects stand out for sure, but this one
It's
really, really makes you like sink in with the character.
literally, I like the play on
Yeah.
words. You definitely do fucking sink into whatever place the sunken place where he finds himself. And it also is another nod to comedians go to some fucking dark places, right? We know him from Comedy Central, from Key and Peele, and some Alfred Hitchcock stuff now. But this was kind of like, wasn't this his first film?
This was his debut as a
I don't
director.
have IMDb in front of me, but yeah, that sounds about right. And that every time I hear that ringing around the edge, even at the beginning of his other movies, right? Like that Monkey Paw Productions, that noise, like it's almost as if Get Out conditions you for horror in the same way that she does to him in that chair using that cup. Because at the beginning of the scary movies, from Get Out to Us, when that plays, you kind of sit back and you prepare yourself. You're just like, oh God, where is he about to take us?
I can't wait to discuss like the just from the little Halloween episodes on Key and Peele to directing these like really like I'm trying to like political I want to say political horror films and psychological because like of the content they're trying to tackle. I feel like it's his movie specifically. I saw Us before Get Out. Anyway, I'm excited to get into it because I remember his Halloween specials and he's good at horror. I'm
Yeah,
like he takes and yeah, he's really good at
I'd
that.
really, I'd really like to talk about Us. I I wasn't a fan of it, but I tip my hat again to him for the attempt. Like someone's got that. I had never seen that story before, right? Like so much horror, it's kind of like just done in a new way. So kind of I'm like, yeah, okay, that was a new little ride there, but wasn't as crazy as Get Out. I'm going off of memory because I saw I saw the trailer for Get Out, and I knew I was just like, fuck, I'm gonna have to watch this. I really don't want to watch it, but I'm gonna have to see it. And I've only seen it once. I have not seen it again since I've seen it. So my interpretation of it is going to be based off of memory, but don't worry, it is branded into my memory. So I'll be just as sharp.
That's good to know because most episodes I'm going off only one viewing a while ago. And then I'm like, what scene made me think that? But that's
What scene made you think that? This is the kind of movie I think afterwards you go and you sit in your car for a while and you just kind of like think, what did I just watch? That should kind of give you an indicator of my rating for it. Horror stands in its own sort of category, and I am not a horror fan, but I really appreciate this film. If you don't know this film is a psychological thriller about a black dude who dates a white woman. He meets her family for the first time, but it turns out he's been baited into this experiment or surgery in which they take off they remove his brain and they put in some wealthy white person's brain into their body. And you're essentially a backseat passenger in your own body as somebody else controls it, is what this is what they're trying to achieve. And the wife, the person who's doing the hypnosis, is essentially conditioning and preparing his brain for that. It's like pre-surgery prep she's doing psychologically throughout the entire movie. And the more you go into this movie, you figure out. Hey, I don't want to. I don't know. I don't want to spoil it. Actually, you know what? It's been out a while.
I was about to let you finish the whole synopsis and say spoiler warning, just in case.
I'm actually. You know what? Do we? Yeah, this movie, when that plot twist is revealed, that's kind of the entire movie. So yes, Aaron, please put a spoiler warning wherever that is at the beginning of that monologue. But that's the movie in a nutshell.
It's going to be a long censor beat.
I like it. If you skipped ahead to this part, we usually talk now about the news. So what do you got? Actually, I've got related news.
Okay.
Daniel Kaluuya, the dude from Queen and Slim, the star of Get Out, is like doing a Barney live action remake with Mattel. Have you heard about this?
I'm sorry, Barney, like the "You Love Me, I Love You" thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's
what's that gonna be? We talked about remakes.
These hot takes, right? We covered this last episode. I don't know how I feel about this because I get it. I don't get it. I know shit about it. But I think it's supposed to be, again, a darker side of Barney. What happens when I love you, you love me is not true? Like, what does that world look like? Read more about it on the AV Club.
Okay.
I don't know what to make of that.
Now I just want to theorize what a Barney remake could be. All the possibilities. Like, from what you told me, I feel like this one is just going to be like such a psychologically in the mind of Barney. But is it going to be the actual dinosaur, or is it going to be the man in the costume getting off work and then we deal with him? You know what I mean?
Jim Carrey did that. I haven't seen that movie, but Jim Carrey did that movie where he played like a Mr. Rogers figure who had a really troubled life outside of the show. I've been meaning to watch that. I still haven't seen it yet.
It's called Kidding.
Kidding.
Yeah, it's on Showtime, actually. I think.
Another comedic actor going to just these fucking dark places. He did that with 23, but this one, it looks same. Anyway, I don't think that's what this Barney thing is. I think it's about, from what I can gather, it's about like the world where that message didn't stick. Which, I mean, it's basically nonfiction, right? Like we're living that world right now.
I mean, that's why I'm like, is it about to be about the actor who was in the Barney costume? That's the only way you can make sense of this. Otherwise, there's going to be so many memes of a sad Barney in a disheveled world walking down a street. There's going to be so people, like, just like the Joker movie. It's going to become like every scene is going to become a different type of meme.
I never got into, as a kid, but back on the scary movie thing, I never got into the Chuckies or the clown stuff. Anything in a costume freaked me the fuck out. So suffice it to say, I wasn't a fan of Barney either, or the Teletubbies. If Barney was to walk into a birthday party, I'd probably fucking run. right? So this movie is scary by it. If you were just like, yeah, we're gonna do the real life story of Barney, I'm just like, oh, is it rated R? This is, how many people is he gonna murder?
It's like Death to Smoochie.
Yeah, basically.
I don't remember a lot from that film. I just remember Edward Norton and that type of premise, like
Oh God,
disheveled
yeah.
Barney. You think it's going to be like that? You think they're going to try and popularize that type of film? Because I don't know how, I can't remember how big Death to Smoochie was.
I feel like Death to Smoochie in a lot of ways was a comedy. This thing doesn't even,
Oh,
it doesn't sound like it's gonna have any laughable moments.
is it for kids? I'm
I don't
so
know. I
confused.
know nothing about it, but you know what? He has piqued my interest, and I'm gonna be keeping tabs on what the fuck this story is, and looking for the trailer.
I'm calling it now if the movie does well, because at this we have a Sonic movie that succeeded. If this movie does well, it my money's on it's getting its own universe. You know, we're gonna see the yellow dinosaur come in, and it's got its own movie now. And I don't even know
The
the
little
name of it. We're gonna see a
Stegosaurus, the female Stegosaurus. Yeah,
yeah. You know
terrifying,
that it's kind of rough
terrifying.
though because like you said, the same actor from this actor from Get Out is gonna be in that too.
Yeah. Oh, I think this is his first director, his first foray into directing,
Oh,
which
that's
makes it even
fascinating.
weirder.
Yeah. I thought he was in it. I was like, what a waste of his talent. But now I'm like, oh, he's directing it. Okay, let's see what he can do. I man, yeah. Where
We'll
does the inspiration come from?
we'll clarify this in the edits afterwards. I because I make mistakes all the time. I misread, I forget. And shout out to Angelica Houston, who last episode on The Witches I called Glenn Close. Morticia Adams, please forgive me. That seemed like a pretty egregious miss. Um, but in looking out for whatever the fuck this trailer is, I found another trailer that I can't wait to watch. It's called Fat Man. Have you seen it,
What?
bro? We're on this remake kick. It is Mel Gibson. Let me lay out the trailer for you.
Rough start.
Basically, yeah, good point. Um, the trailer opens on Mel Gibson acting like a grizzled warrior who's been forgotten and lost, and like people don't respect me anymore. Then it cuts to some
Very
rich
method.
kid. Yeah, yeah. Yes, remember that, because that's the feel of this trailer.
Huh.
And it cuts to some rich kid who, around Christmas time, I'm talking Charlie, like Richie Rich. He goes under the tree and he opens up his present, and it's a lump of coal. And the rich kid gets so irate, he runs out into the snow and he screams at the sky, "You're dead, fat man." And the kid then calls a hitman and says, "I want you to kill Santa Claus." And so this hitman is then on a hunt to bring this little kid the head of Santa Claus. And Santa Claus is Mel Gibson. And it shows him at a bar, like talking to people, soul searching. It shows Mel Gibson intercut, um, facing off against the assassin. He's like, "You think you're the first? You think I got this job because I'm fat and jolly?" Like, it has gunfights and explosions, and it's insane. You've not seen this?
No, I can't
I can't
believe
stop
like
watching
Screen
it.
Rant. Screen Rant didn't even talk about it once. What the hell?
We're breaking news here, man. This is great. Yeah, it
That's
is
awesome.
absolutely insane, and I can't wait to watch it. And I feel bad because you said, "Yeah, Mel Gibson, bad lead-in." We were like, separate the art from the artist, and it wasn't until I was bringing it up with a friend that they reminded me that he had gone on that drunken tirade about the, yeah. I'm like, one, how is this guy still getting work? But two, I
Right.
completely forgot.
Here's my theory on that. Is because every time I've seen him like passively, it's in a weird ass indie film trailer. Did you know? I don't know how many he did since then, but I saw one immediately, like after, or maybe pretty recently after the incident where he was a racist piece of shit, where he was for some reason this person going through this terrible like maybe midlife crisis or old like near end crisis, and they had to deal with that by talking to a beaver that was a sock puppet beaver, and Mel Gibson was talking to him a little bit, and I thought it was the weirdest shit. I was like, why are you doing this? And I feel it's probably to humanize and be like, oh, people, he's weird, he's going crazy. Oh, now I'm feeling for him because maybe the beaver movie was good. I don't know. I was still remembered.
I think the way I view that, because that Beaver movie enticed me, and I remember not seeing it, and I was just like, he's like proving like I make the project. This industry can't live without me. It's sort of like the thing he's on, because he is taking these indie films and he's bringing them to big screens.
Yeah.
That was my interpretation of that.
Yeah, I agree.
But
That's totally why that movie was notable in the first place, or at least to me.
This Batman movie, it's like it's a little bit more serious than Seven Psychopaths, but it feels the same way. Like it's comedy. There's funny moments in it, but it's meant to be serious.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know I guess that's dark comedy, but again, a lot of dark comedies that go under that name like rarely have really funny jokes in them. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I've only seen some. No, that's not dark comedy. I was about to say Sacha Baron Cohen, but I don't think he's dark comedy. He's just satire and parody. he's I may have hit a nerve. Well, I'll jump in.
No, we're on news. You're talking about Sacha Baron Cohen, yeah. Have you seen it?
Okay. That is the movie. That's a sequel, right? That landed on Amazon?
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, I haven't seen it. I was so confused by it and I thought it was coming out later. I didn't look at any news for that one for some reason. But
I'm like 2/3 of the way.
Have you seen it? Okay. Oh, 2/3.
Bro, it's the cringiest thing in the world. It's funny. Man. It's funny, but yeah, it sucks. This is where we are.
Really? I'm gonna be honest. I know how this is gonna sound. I have only seen Bruno, and I have never seen Borat except for some of the YouTube clips. And yeah, that's why. So I have no gauge for the second one. What are your feelings, one versus the sequel? You know what I mean? The first one versus the sequel.
Oh, I think they're just as good. So the first one tried to tell a story and then have these real life interviews cut in between it. The second one does the same thing. It's a narrative broken up by these like candid moments where they get unwitting participants like Rudy Giuliani with his fucking hands in his pants.
I only saw one article that was like he said some stuff he was trying to get removed or something.
Dude, nothing matters anymore. Oh God, yeah. So Sacha Baron Cohen has a movie.
Like a 9.
Watch it. You need to watch it now. You need to watch it now. It's like most comedies, it is timely. I think. Did you hear that? No.
No.
Okay.
No. All right. I heard it is timely.
It is timely. I got a Facebook message. That's why.
I know you're good.
Watch it now. Watch it now. Watch it now. Watch it now.
All right.
I've been cannibalizing the news, but so much has happened. I'm sorry. If you've got any news stories, please share. But I have not.
You're fine. At most, I will say we got a part 2 for this discussion next week because I think I'm going to try and watch that and see how I feel about. I'm going to try and watch both Borats because both of them are on Amazon Prime now. So I'll see how I feel about them. You know.
Pretty good. How would you? What does good even mean anymore? Like what is? It's pretty good. Yeah, it made me cringe the entire time. It was great.
I think there's like a way to make people. I think that's an art. You know how like one episode you brought up the fact that like comedy uh to play someone kind of like comedically stupid is harder than you think because like I'm paraphrasing,
No,
but
yeah.
also because it's like you can just say crude humor. You can go blue, as writers say, when you just do to a dick and a fart joke or something. But like to actually play stupid and do it so genuinely and make someone believe that you are that dumb, it's really hard to do. And that's why we respect all these big comedians for doing that for so long.
I had a
And I
hard.
think,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, no, wait. I literally forgot the movie we were relating to, but Borat. So I think I've loved Sacha Baron Cohen's like portrayal and what I've seen him in so far. I can't wait to see one versus two during their political climates.
So Sacha Baron Cohen, as this character he used to do called Ali G. Do you know like his entire uh character lineup?
Is that a
He had,
show? Because I only saw
but
the movie of Ali G, and I didn't like it. Yeah.
it was, yeah. There's not too much you can do in like a movie form, but it gives you a good idea of Ali G. Ali G used to be a show on like HBO, and he would interview people regularly. And he would be this like, yo, this like, I can't even do the accent, but this kind of British like poser gangster, and it was the greatest thing in the world. But he has an interview with Donald Trump. He has an interview as Ali G with Donald Trump. And
Oh my.
part of the secret that he won't give up, like his whole sort of Houdini trick, is how he keeps getting these interviews with these high profile fucking people. How does nobody not know who he is at this point? What, like, who is vetting this person? How does nobody walking through the lobby identify him? This is, yeah, I don't, like, what is
Yeah,
the
I
project's
agree.
secret name?
Yeah,
I
like
don't
just a
get it.
fake ID and they believe it.
This guy would be a brilliant spy.
He's Trojan horsing the fuck out of all these politicians. He's sneaking in undercover, no one knows,
Did you
and it's
watch his
weird.
HBO show?
No, that's the thing. I was trying to find the HBO show, and I found the movie instead. And the movie is shot and directed, and it feels like it's like a scary movie type of budget. You know what I mean? Like like Scary Movie 1 and 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't satisfying, and it didn't speak to. I saw Bruno right before that, or no, I saw Bruno after. But from what I heard from his track record, and sketches I saw on YouTube, I didn't. I was already like, this is really weird. This isn't sad. This is and it's not clever. He went blue so many times for no
You
real
know what?
genuine reason. Huh?
That I you're absolutely right about not really having a reason for dick fart poop jokes, but it's kind of modern day slapstick. Not modern day slapstick, but
I would
it
agree though
works.
because
It works. He's got grown men bending over a sex doll unironically, right? Well, what this
was that Analogy the movie?
no, that was in the TV show where he was pretending to
Okay.
be an Israeli CIA Mossad agent, teaching these like red state pro gun advocates and state representatives. A lot of local representatives got in a lot of trouble for their views because it was nothing at any point stopped these people from incriminating themselves. They thought that they were genuinely sharing their perspective with another person who was acting insane, right? Like this. That's the best way I can put it. So, what do you want me to do and yell at this doll while I run at it with a knife? Yeah, that's how. That seems like how Secret Service would attack and take down a suspect. Dude, it is so fucking bad, but it's
I
great.
have to
You
see
know,
the show.
it's great.
I have to see the show because I feel like Sacha Baron Cohen thrives when he's in that element of I'm with a real person, but I'm playing this character, and they don't know, but the audience knows, and it's just like that's where Bruno. I heard people hated it. I saw it for the first time more recently than you'd think. And like I think the past year, and I thought it was hilarious, very cringy at some points. But my God, the way he just was messing with people was great. It's not like I watch a lot of H3. So there's some
Yeah,
videos where he's talking about like the Bradbury brothers and they just go into the street and scream at each other. So yeah, Vape Nation.
Vape Nation, baby. Ethan, you're always welcome on our podcast. You and Neela, come on
Oh, that would be beautiful. Have you seen Frenemies? You
No.
got to see it. Quick click,
Uh,
got to see it.
um,
Next news.
I got a line of shit in front of me. What do you?
I have
What do you
one
got?
thing I want to get to.
Okay.
Okay, so well, it's like a combo because it transcends Marvel and DC because they're both doing it. It is the fact that Jared Leto is returning for the Snyder Cut in some possible reshoots that could improve Batman's
Nice.
story. Oh my God! All right, and then option B is these rumors. Every time I've looked it up, this is about Spider-Man. I'm sure you've heard it. But Andrew
Yes.
Garfield and Tobey Maguire coming into the third Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. But again, those contracts have not been confirmed. Those contracts have not, as of this filming, have not been confirmed. People say they have, but they're really fucking eager. It's not been confirmed. I've looked so many places, but I feel like the studio itself has denied that it's yet so far.
You want
What are
that to
your
be true.
feelings on that?
So on the like multiple universe Spider-Man, I think that if you were going to do it, I feel like if you're an actor, why wouldn't you be on board with this idea? At that point, it has to be legal shit getting in the way because I would want to see the three of them in the same movie, or even the three of them in the same movie, just to acknowledge that in the same way that the CW did the Flash universe with Justice League and the CW. So I wouldn't have a problem with it. I more want to talk about the DC side because I'm one of these few crazy people who think Jared Leto's Joker was actually pretty good.
God
And
damn
I
it!
recently watched Suicide Squad again, and I was really critical of Suicide Squad. I think the actors kind of got the spirit of the characters, but I think the movie itself was really poor. I think the movie was meant to be in the same universe as Justice League, but it doesn't aesthetically look like it belongs there.
Yeah,
And
I
that's the
agree.
problem I have with it.
Hmm.
But
I would, yeah,
Snyderverse cuts, I'm on board with.
I'm skeptical. I don't know how much Jared Leto is going to add to Batman's story in Justice League. When it already feels like you have 6 other heroes from the Justice League you haven't really identified, or like at the time, think about the first time you're watching Justice League, and assuming you're not a comic book fan, we're not comic book fans, that this is our introduction. They skip a lot of beats. And they go pretty quick. I think they're turning into a series, so hopefully that'll help. But I don't know how much Jared Leto will add. Lauren will agree with you, but
I
but
think
I'm
that
like, I think he played it too. I don't know. Maybe I think the script was too thin too for what Jared Leto wanted to do with the role. It was
he
too,
had a
yeah,
lot of shit that didn't make it to TV, didn't make it to CRIs, and that was like a huge gripe that he had. And I would have preferred to see a lot more of him too. Seeing him in those glimpses helped, and you get an idea of the sort of mobster life that he's leading, but you don't see the city under his control, and you don't see him out in the world. You only see him on these exorbitant sort of missions, like to retake a medical facility and to like get his girl out of a copter. But I mean, Batman is defined by the Joker. Every Batman is defined by their Joker. Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholas, and Christian Bale, Heath Ledger, and
that's what
who?
that poster is, by the way. Oh no, this one. If you can,
No
there's a
shit.
glare on it, but it's like a Joker. It's the Dark Knight joke Heath Ledger with all these little
Uh,
cards cut out.
Yeah, I liked Heath Ledger's and Jared Leto's equally. Um, and I know that's unpopular opinion talk, but I think Jared Leto is a great actor, and he playing Joker is not an easy role, especially when studios expect you to be the Joker. So to not give him enough airtime when you ask, it's not a
Yeah.
featured extra, right? It's not somebody who does cameos. You have
And it
to,
certainly wasn't advertised that way either.
yeah,
It was like
exactly,
Joker's
exactly,
in this.
yep. And I fantasize a lot about putting Joaquin Phoenix's Joker in Jared Leto's place, and I'm like, how could this work?
I
It would
actually do agree with that. Yeah. Yeah.
that
You
that
can't.
movie seemed a lot more inside the Batman v Superman universe, like the way it was shot and seen. And I feel like it could work if the timelines were staggered a little bit and Joker is basically in the asylum when all these events are happening.
I mean, in my view, I feel like the CW did something perfect. They said we can
What the fuck?
combine any reality together. That's what they were trying to do, and I think they did it. I like their approach better. I'll just say. Um,
They have a lot of capacity to do that given how much of the DC IP they own, right? Blending,
CW.
yeah, blending Constantine and Lucifer, one of the
Oh yeah.
best crossovers I've seen in a while. Even for
It
that
was too
brief
brief. I
interaction.
wasn't even. Oh wait, say again.
I said, even for that brief interaction.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was way too brief. I'm not even that much of a fan of Lucifer. I followed for a minute, but I really liked that one season of Constantine for some reason, and it was yeah. I wish there was more of that. I think with Justice League and with Jared Leto, I was hesitant to him, and the script is thin. But I think that's the thing. I think he leaned more to crazy, and in my what I like most about the Joker is he is crazy with a plan, but like to bring chaos, like it's strategic chaos. I feel like he really tries at his best. He's manipulating the people of Gotham to get at Batman.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that the Jokers, even all the different Jokers that we've had, um, they're Joker at a different point in Joker's progression, right? The
Hmm.
Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is the origin, like becoming the Joker. Um, Heath Ledger's Joker is like the start of his empire. Jared Leto's Joker is in the crux of like his culmination on top. And
Hmm.
Jack Nicklaus's Joker is like, even though they introduced him as a new villain, I feel that Jack Nicklaus's Joker was someone who had been at this mob life. Him and Batman had been going back and forth for a long, long fucking time.
It
That's
did
how I
feel
feel.
like that. He was
Yeah,
already a prevalent threat at the beginning of that one.
yeah.
Okay.
Because he had this like
Yeah.
massive gang following that they never explained. Jack Nicklaus's Joker. Jack Nicklaus's Joker is kind of overrated, but I enjoy it.
I agree. I think the makeup, his face, Jack Nicholson, and the makeup sell it. His acting at the time, his hype at the time, that's what keeps that in the
Yeah,
social norm, social mind, hive mind, whatever. But uh, yeah, I'm hoping that these reshoots change the Joker a little, and not like too much, not like where whatever. I hope that it just improves both the Joker and Batman's like just whatever their conflict is in this new DCEU that they're trying to go for. But I do agree that like Joaquin Phoenix doesn't work because honestly, how is he supposed to? The Joaquin Phoenix Joker felt like he fumbled into most of his roles, as like at the end of the
yeah,
movie he's being pulled out of the car without really asking or begging for that,
yeah.
and yeah, even it's his origin for sure. I love that through line. That's really cool. that like that is the this is the Joker at different points in his career.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's
That
kind of
makes a
how
lot of sense.
that's how I see it. I can still see a place for Joaquin's Joker, but um, the flashiness of Jared Leto's Joker is he's on top of the world right now, and Gotham. I've always held that Gotham is the shittiest place in the world to live. Why would you live in Gotham City? What fucking reason would you have to stay there? But at that point, Jared Leto's Joker is the boss of bosses. And imagine how much scarier that must be if the Joker's crew is running the city.
I'm hoping
Anyway,
they really dive into that.
yeah, yeah.
For
Um,
Spider-Man, I know they're gonna make a ton of money if
dude,
they do that. Yeah.
original Tobey Maguire was my favorite. Tom Holland, though, is great. But Tom Holland is moved into fucking video game remakes. Everyone's doing a
Yep.
remake. Have you
We got
seen it?
this. Yeah. What are
Nathan
your
Drake.
thoughts?
I can see it. I think he's gonna fucking kill it. I can definitely see it. Nathan Drake is supposed to be slightly older than Tom Holland is, but
That's the
I can
thing.
still see it.
I did I didn't know at the time that it wasn't directly a remake from exactly the first game of Uncharted. It's a prequel. So I was
Oh,
like jokingly shouting, "Oh, that's young Nathan Drake. What the fuck?" And then, oh, it's a prequel. Oh, that makes sense. Actually, that's perfect. Like I'm happy now.
you know what they're doing with that then? I can smell the money. They're doing an Indiana Jones sort of thing. They're gonna Tom
Yeah,
Holland has found his franchise. He's
dude,
gonna
but
be Nathan Drake for the next 30 years.
he's found two really like franchises that just like stapled him into history. Like him as Spider-Man. I mean, he's the third role still. I don't think I don't know.
Everyone
See,
was
here's the thing.
excited to see Spider-Man at the Civil War. Like, let's not pretend that
Oh,
wasn't the best part of the trailer.
but were you thinking Spider-Man or oh my god, that's Tom Holland?
Spider-Man, because
Yeah.
I was not distracted by the name because I didn't know who the fuck Tom Holland was. So I was like, Spider-Man. This is the problem that I've had with fucking Marvel. What is going on in the city? Where are these other superheroes that are like, where the fuck is, they tried to explain a little bit of that at Endgame when they revisited the timelines and Doctor Strange's mentor was doing her own fight. But I was like, the Avengers could really use your help right now. What was bigger than New York City being under attack by aliens? What I feel like that's a world event.
Well, what if? Wait, are you talking about? Are you? If you're specifically referring to like Doctor Strange and the Tilda
All of it.
Swinton like leader,
Yeah.
I I feel like for okay, well then I'll just chalk them off first. They could have used the time stone. That it meant nothing to them, but no one knew that they had the time stone. You know what I mean?
Nick Fury has had the pager of Captain Marvel this entire time.
That's why I don't like
he only
Captain
used it
Marvel.
when he disappeared. Not when a black hole opens up over the Chrysler building and aliens start fucking pouring through. No, he's like, you know what? I got this. I got this. What
Another
the fuck,
time.
man?
Don't want to make her all angry.
DC doesn't pull that bullshit. All right,
I
DC
don't
doesn't do
know. I don't know, man. You really? Oh man, really? You really don't think that? You've seen Wonder Woman and you don't think that? You've seen like Wonder Woman was the best one, but what I'm saying is like, oh my god,
both
what about
both
Suicide
one
Squad?
both Wonder Woman and yeah, they haven't really explained Suicide Squad where that fits. Both Wonder Woman and Aquaman are driven by self-preservation, right? They don't really give a shit about what happens to the surface world or what happens to non-Greeks. So that's boom, done. They brought in Batman, right? He's only a person. He can't be everywhere at once like Superman. So they made sense of that. The Suicide Squad was happening in Chicago, I think it was.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's the setting for. where the Enchantress was doing that. They didn't
I'm just saying there's
explain where it was in the timeline, so I have no idea where anybody is.
I'll just say there's huge logical leaps in both because I didn't know that they were even in Chicago in Suicide Squad A. And B, if a government says, well, let's get this little crazy girl with a bat, this dude who shoots really well, and this other dude who has got 2 boomerangs to stop Superman in case we need to, I'm laughing my fucking ass off. There's no
Well,
way that team is marking him, leaving a scratch on Superman after what we saw in
actually,
Man of Steel.
I think they did explain it. I apologize. I don't know where the Flash is. The Flash is kind of hermiting, but it's after Superman because when they introduced the Enchantress to the Department of Defense, they lead in with the fact that what happens if Superman would have ripped off the White House and taken the president, who would have stopped him, and which is why they assemble that task force. So they do explain that a little bit. And I think Harley in the movie even says, "Why didn't they call Batman?" or some shit like that. And they put Batman in the movie chasing them down. So they're not completely parallel. They're not like these people exist. And Deadshot, his whole fantasy was to kill Ben Affleck. Affleck, yeah, Ben Affleck.
Bad fleck.
Affleck.
Here's my qualm with wait
So
what's the movie? What was
TL,
the news?
TLDR, we were talking about Nathan Drake, Tom Holland, and then we got caught up in the fact that the Marvel Cinematic Universe, people give them so much fucking credit for thinking through this well thought out timeline of events, but you can shoot things as sieves. It's got so many holes in it, man.
I will just say the timeline works. Years are wrong. Years are wrong for sure. But the thing that really throws a wrench into the MCU is the fact that Captain Marvel came in near the tail end, and they were already filming like Endgame while that movie was going on. So there really was a loss of communication between the two sets. I'm not saying because of the film itself, but I'm saying because they really didn't know where to put it after a certain point. And to place her and say she was the Avenger that started the Avengers Initiative kind of shits on the rest of the 10 years we waited for. You should have put her, if you wanted her there, put her in halfway, put her at the beginning. Like, what's wrong with you,
Allude to
Marvel?
her in some way, right? Like
Yeah, Nick,
they alluded to Spider-Man in Winter Soldier, but like do something. What was happening in her corner of the universe when half of the people on the planet were disappearing?
that's
Because
the
that
yeah.
happened.
I hate that excuse. I
Did she
hate it.
not? Was she just like, oh, I get, whoops, I must have done something. She didn't think to ask
I'm
anybody. Like what?
I'm busy passively aggressing saving other planets other than Earth, where you care more about. Like Nick's there, Nick Fury is there. What the?
You were saving other planets. You didn't notice that half of them turned into dust. What was going?
Yeah, she had to get the beeper to go back to Earth. You can
Also,
give her the benefit of the doubt. She didn't know like where it emanated from, and then the beeper told her. But then it's like,
you'd still go
okay,
home.
but where was she? Where was she in Avengers? Where was she at Age of Ultron? Where was she? Where was she?
Also, apparently
So
she doesn't age. Um, Nick
yeah,
Fury, Nick Fury aged a
I do
lifetime.
love that one quip about when Rocket like jabs at her hair or something. Like that's the only thing that changed about her in the 10 years. Just like she had a new hairstyle or something.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought that was
she cut
great.
it short.
Yeah,
Um, I remember that they were in like the hologram talking to each other through the, yeah. Um, fucking DC doesn't do this shit either, which is why I'm hoping they bring back Ben Affleck. You can't change War Machine and pretend that I won't notice. They
they've
tried
changed
to.
Batman so many times.
It's different universes. It's different universes.
Not if they pull. Not if they already pulled
It's
Kevin
different
Conroy.
fucking universes. What do
Oh
you
my god.
say?
If they're trying to do a multiverse thing though, then the argument falls apart. That I think that okay. Oh my god. Oh, We have to have an episode on this to get it out of our system because because we keep trying to draw back to Nathan Drake, and then we dive into this, and I want to dive with you.
Let's. This is taking up a lot of time. Let's move on to my last. We haven't even done cold reads. We haven't. How about we save the cold reads and we keep doing movie talks? I do enjoy the cold read segment, and the quote segment, but we're about 45 minutes in right now, and we haven't
That
even
makes
started
sense.
that stuff. Quibi is dead. Did you hear about that?
Oh, yes, I did, and I knew it would happen. What?
Oh, sorry, this has been an action-packed news week, and I also knew this would happen. Who? I got so many thoughts. Um, no one. Were we? Did we really need a 5 minute, 10 minute episodic platform? Right? Like you're recording shorts and TV shows meant for 10 minute consumption, and then when coronavirus hits, you're gonna blame it on the fact that like commuters was your big target audience. This is come on, man. We got YouTube, we got Vine, we got TikTok. Like you're this is old school industry people trying to force a product down our throats. That's what that is, and it failed.
Oh yeah, Quibi it felt to me like the biggest gamble for the company, whoever started it, because it was like they invested so much into their actors and into their short things, and then trying to change the way we watch TV. They were trying to be like the new Netflix, like they're trying to start their own thing and be or Vine or TikTok, and in that new format, it doesn't work at all. And
No,
something I learned later that
get
they
it.
can't even, huh?
Sorry. I gotta
Oh
stop
no,
that.
you're good. You're good. It can't even. No, I love it. It can't even. That's what the verse is. It can't even. It can't even stream to like a Chromecast, Roku, any device, any streaming device. It cannot go. Quibi can't do that.
That's how you
That's
know it's industry people trying to lock down fucking content. It's so shitty.
And that's when you
Because
see it bite itself in the ass because
yes,
it literally I feel like that was one of the factors that killed it. The fact that you can't play it to any of service you have,
you
done.
need to use
You've
theirs.
lost your convenience.
Like and then they spent so much. They basically pissed away $2 billion. Over $1 billion of it spent on content. Fucking using these big name actors to do these 10 minute fucking things meant to be played back on a phone. Like the industry is fucking changed. Stop trying to like make it for Netflix, make it for Vimeo or whatever. But no, this isn't gonna. You're not gonna be. You're not gonna be successful shoving brand names of actors down people's throats. Like we got all these actors on this 10 minute short thing. We know you don't want 10 minute content to watch. I don't know how long would it have taken to consume House of Cards in fucking 10 minute chunks. Uh, but like
Yeah.
they're paying for these people to get the market share, and it just didn't work. That's where they spent most of their money. And you give me $1 million, I will get you a year's worth of content from a bunch of independent creators in every fucking vertical you can think of to be played back once a week, every single fucking day. Uh, that's how cheap content is. I feel like I don't know. Like
There's a lot of streaming services, yeah, that are thriving more than Quibi actually, but that are free and that are free and offer a lot of movies that you didn't know you could get for free. Like Google any movie and then you'll see Tubi or Nuvu or something pop up, and like those are real names, and and it'll be like a free app you can get these movies on. It's weird that they wanted to change it so much and it
it's weird that
backfired
they
so hard.
spent so much money buying content when serving the content is really the cost. Like sending that from their servers to your phone and their app and the development of that stuff. That's where the fucking problems are. Like why would you? How much you feel better, Idris Elba, Kevin Hart? You feel good about eating up 1% of that $1 billion budget to make short films? Like I
I
don't.
mean,
What else? I don't blame them at all. This is really
no.
CEO mismanagement entirely. But
Oh
the
yeah.
entire time I'm looking at these names, I'm like, why don't you just start your own thing? You don't like what are you going to gain out of Quibi by not starting a Twitch channel, starting a YouTube channel? Will
Oh
Smith
yeah,
dove
if
right in and he's killing it.
yeah, I mean the meme really sold it, but yeah,
Wow,
that's hot.
what was it? It's rewind time. Yo, he's I love that.
I love that one.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. That's he gets it. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah, he Will Smith really knows how to like work in whatever like mediums change all the time and whatever's popular changes. Will Smith is brilliant at like also figuring out what people love and then even doing what he loves. It kind of feels like he's always in his element wherever he is. Um,
Yeah,
but
it's
but for
it's
Quibi, yeah, if Idris Elba, Kevin Hart, even I know they got John Travolta on there on one video. I saw some ads. So funny. The Quibi ads were the best part of Quibi. Just how ridiculous their shows were. There's literally like there's one clip, I'm gonna put it up, where there's like some woman with a robotic arm like dying of like how gruesome the surgery was to get the robotic arm or something. And then the husband is like, I'm so sorry. And these are like actors they got for like the first day of shooting. You know what I mean? Like they're like someone they could grab quick, non-union.
what so if I'm in a Quibi short film, can I put does that go on your IMDb page? Well, no, I
Would
mean,
anyone know what that is?
what makes it worthwhile to do? I don't understand it.
For Kevin Hart and Idris Elba, John Travolta, and Aubrey. No, like I know one other actress did another funny show on there. I'm gonna put that clip up
Aubrey
because that's
Plaza.
insane. I think Aubrey Plaza. I thought it was no. Anyway, but I feel like for the bigger stars, I feel like their only means was I'm gonna milk this project for whatever it's got. Whether you know they it was win-win for them. They get a big paycheck or they get to be a part of a new app and a new way of TV. I don't know.
Blame them at all. I want to know what happens to all that content now that the platform died. Where's that
Oh, it's
going?
getting sold off to other networks. It's gotta.
Netflix now has a 10-minute or less division now, right? Like that. Thanks for doing all the heavy lifting, Quibi. You idiots.
That's exactly what it is. They bought Cobra Kai from YouTube Red, so they're gonna definitely buy everything Quibi has. It's probably like 10 cents.
God, I can't. But we're here to talk today about the movie Get Out. No segue, no nothing. I'm gonna hard stop that right into a brick wall. We're done with news. We need to get on to the main point of today's conversation. I had a whole bunch of quotes. I wanted you to read one as Heath Ledger's Joker. I wanted you to read one as Ruckus. I had a whole bunch of. I think this.
I
I'm
can't
gonna
believe
keep
we
this.
haven't been doing that.
I'm gonna keep this one. We're look forward to that whenever we talk about our next one. That's coming down the pipeline. But today, talking about Jordan Peele's horror flick, Get Out. And I want to wait to give it a rating. It's gonna get a pretty favorable rating, but this movie scared the fuck out of me. I think it was all the actors involved were great. Um, Actually, I don't know. The brother was a little weird, but the idea that this that this could happen was completely believable to me. I don't know how about you. I don't know if he sold me on the idea that this was feasible, right? Definitely very like Hitchcock in the delivery.
Very Hitchcock. I would agree with that. I would say coming from a private school and being whitewashed, I had a different takeaway from this movie, and
Oh,
I think
here
I think
I'm
the I think the rhetoric that man Peele
yeah.
his full name I always get them mixed up.
Jordan
What's
Peele.
his full name?
I,
Jordan
I
Peele.
think that's right.
I'm bad with names in general. So, but I think he did brilliantly at trying to say this is what it would feel like, you know, trying to act the way that is not comfortable to you. This is how it would feel trying to meet your standards, these like really rich white old people, where I don't know. It felt like, well, it was just racism. It just felt like this is how you deal with racism. You have to, you know, speak. I don't know. Like he said it perfectly in the film at one point. He was like, you speak very well," and it's like that's not an insult, but it's not considered an insult, but that is very odd to say when let's say this person doesn't speak the way you expect, but they're smarter than you and they have more skill and like in a certain like technical or artistic area than you. It's just dealing with racism, and but the way you nitpick the conversation, the dialogue between everyone is very subtle. I feel like I don't know how. I think no, Lauren picked up on it. I was about to say like I don't know how most white audience members that don't grow up thinking about it all the time, or most, you know what I mean. But
Yeah,
I wonder how much they got of the subtleties in the conversation about
bro.
subtly correcting the other person. You know.
I was when this movie came out. I went. I was talking to a girl on Tinder, and I was like, "Yo, let's. I haven't seen this movie. Let's check it out. I'm be sketched out." And she replies, she's like, "Yeah, this looks great. I love him on Comedy Central. This looks just as funny." And I replied, "What part of this is a comedy?" Um, she didn't get it at all. Suffice it to say, we didn't go on that date, but um, it's
I mean,
really
yeah.
I on its face, like some people can't relate to it. But for me, it was like super fucking relatable. Um, Only because the fear, like white people are the monsters in this movie, right? Like that's the horror of it, and it definitely uh, plays on that racial. I'm trying to be. I've got some stuff that I can articulate that if we weren't recording, I would probably share. That I'm having a hard time articulating over broadcast. But I
I kind of
promise.
want to. Yeah, I feel like we got to be us. Like people see us, we got to like. There's no ignoring the fact that this movie talks about racism and like.
Yeah,
Well, first of all, some people. I mean, I don't know, some not in person, but like I feel like right now with the lighting, I look white. So I'm Latino, and but I think we get it's no problem to it. I think we should address what we're feeling because like this movie really does like I wrote down a lot of notes for this movie. I'm gonna pick up
please
actually because
yeah,
and one thing I remember writing down was the subtleties in all the conversation. Like about like how this is okay. How it's like, oh no, they're not gonna think of you that way, and it's like all right. And then he's finally there with the parents, and they're saying a lot of odd things. Like there's a minute where it's like no one says anything after a comment because you're still thinking about what that comment actually meant.
yeah.
You know, uh, I don't. Again, the only conclude or the only example I have is just when they're like, "You speak so well."
That whole situation too was completely. If you went into that movie not knowing what the movie was about, the visit to the parents' house was so fucking disarming, right? Like they, that's any affluent white family in the Bay Area. That the mom who's kind of
Oh
there,
my
and the
god!
dad who's trying to be like with it, but is overly engaged.
I
Uh,
love that actor, by the way, who played the dad, and just
so did
like
I.
like Obama, best president, best
I'd have
president.
voted for him 3 times if I could. Right? Like that's what
It came out of nowhere too.
kind of lulls you into that, and then you
Yeah,
start seeing the help that they have around the household, and instantly something triggers. Is like, okay, this is in progressive America. This is a little off. Like, let's um, are all of your people that look after your shit black? Like, what's going on here? And then they act really weird to the point where you know something's up, and you're trying to figure out, is this them assimilating to the environment that they're in, or is there something off here? Right? Like, clearly, you know, going into the
Oh
movie
yeah.
that something's a little off because you've seen the trailer. But if you've gone in without that uh, filter on, and I'm trying to look at it through that lens, you're just like, what the fuck? And I think the first time when I would have get out was when the groundskeeper runs at me in the middle of the night and
Oh
then
my
does a
god.
hard right turn right as he gets to me. Right? Maybe, shining the camera bulb flash into Lakeith's face I would have been like, that's weird. What the fuck? But then going outside at night and seeing that happen, I'm like, yeah, okay. Come pick me up, please. I'm leaving. I won't even tell her that I'm leaving. I'm just fucking leaving.
Yeah, like full pace sprint, like really like went for it. Like like yeah, that was definitely unnerving. Uh
Half a minute
and
before
yeah,
that, the housekeeper was banging her head against the window, right?
I'm trying to remember if that was before or
That
after.
was the same
No,
night. That was the same night.
that was
He
the same night.
looks up to see that, and then he looks over and he's like, "This person is running at me."
The night I would have gotten out was when like I know he was when he first walked in with his with the mother of the girlfriend.
It's too
Like,
late
and
at
she
that
was
point.
like, "Have a seat," and she's
Yeah.
ringing the glass or the
Yep.
the teacup. Like sitting watching it, I was like, "No, that thing is already the trigger. It's already
Yeah.
started." You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like for the hypnosis. But
It's
man,
at
I
that
definitely would have
point
gotten out after that.
she's got you because she could probably do that over the phone, right? Like, you're never
Oh
really
my,
safe. So as soon as she
yeah.
gets and can trigger you into the sunken place using that method, you're done. You've got it at this point. You just got to kill her. All right, like, that's it.
So I feel like when I want to talk about the sunken place, I want to talk about like how well it is shot, how like imaginative and how like terrifying that scene is.
Easily the
It
scariest part of the movie. Yeah.
yeah, I literally was waiting for something to combat that at some point, but it like draws you in the most. Like it is the peak. The movie doesn't like drop completely after
Yeah.
that moment. But that is that's a hell of a highlight. I really felt like I was like as tense as he was, and
The
the portrayal of
movie
it was great.
ends on an uptick slightly, right? You're the roller
Yeah.
coaster. There's no up. The roller coaster just starts to fall as soon as you sit into the movie. But it doesn't at any point go back to its original level. You just get out of the free fall for a little reprieve to take a breath. But there's an alternative ending. Have you seen it?
No, what?
It's on YouTube, and it's not as it it's not a happy ending.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's the. Did it say anywhere if it was like Jordan Peele's ending or like the
I,
director's ending or was it the studio's ending, alternate ending?
that's a good question. I don't know, but it has the actors in it. It has Daniel, and it has his TSA friend
Oh wow.
talking to
Uh,
him through a prison glass.
like like stuck there.
Like, he survives the house,
Spoiler.
but then gets indicted for the murders of everyone in the house, right? Like, that kind of shit.
Oh, in a glass box. Oh, fuck. That's awful. But that
Yeah,
But actually, that's literally what I thought though. At some point, like when the police car rolled up, you don't think initially, of course, that it's his
you think
TSA
he's
friend.
fucked. Yeah,
Yeah, and
you think he's fucked.
that's literally That sucks. You know what? I'm going to make a judgment on that one and say the producers said, no, we don't want that ending. We want a happy ending for audiences because it was
I,
his first debut as a director. And I feel like he buckled. He had no choice to, in a way.
yeah, that's a good point. I'm curious to see which one he. I would have fought for the darker one. You're already down there. Keep fucking digging. Yeah, I think you're right. I could see the studio being like, we can't end it like this. This is
Horror
just too.
movies aren't supposed to end happy. You know, like I feel like, uh,
They're supposed to resolve,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it doesn't need to be a happy resolution.
yeah. Man, that ending would have made a lot of sense though, because there's literally I can literally tell where that cut would have been. I mean, or at least guess. Um, yeah, with that moment. But I was happy his TSA friend showed up. His TSA friend in the movie was like a saving grace. Well, literally. But but I really did like the actor and how he didn't feel like he was just like a comedy joke. It felt like he was like genuinely like, oh my god, I'm genuinely afraid for you. But also
Yeah,
he was pretty funny with the way he was delivering
yeah.
it. Yeah, he was really
His
good.
tone wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't over the top. It was like this is a genuine reaction. I at no point was I like this is too fucking dramatic. Maybe at the end when he was like, "I'm motherfucking TSA, bitch."
Yeah,
That
his
was
friend's still a little distraught.
but up until that point, I'm just like, yo, you are his only fucking hope. This is funny, but it's nervous laughter. Get him the fuck out of there. And
Yeah, you
then
can see your what?
full comedy when he walked into the police station.
I'm trying to
You
remember
forgot
now.
that
Is that immediately
scene?
after? Was that immediately
So
after?
no, it
Oh
was
wait,
like
no. And he told the police officers about the situation, and she was like, "Get in here."
he yeah, he gathers all this evidence that his friend is being held basically psychologically against his will, and that this family upstate and black people have been missing in this area, and blah blah blah. And he sits down to this detective, this black detective, and he tells a story. And then he tells a story again, and you notice more detectives in the room. Like they're all like, "Come in here, you gotta hear this." And then all at once, they just burst out fucking laughing at him when he tried to tell him this. I thought that was great.
Yeah, that delivery was perfect.
Yeah,
That really shows how good Jordan Peele was good at like from Key and Peele about the timing and the horror of the situation.
yeah,
He really balanced it well. I feel like one didn't impede on the other, and it didn't impede on the story. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it's there's not going to be slapstick in a horror movie. But I'm just saying, like usually slapstick is like a detraction from a story.
yeah.
Uh, you know, and it felt like when the police officers laughed at him, it was just adding to the world and this and what Jordan Peele was trying to say. And if it had the true ending, that alternate ending, yeah, I'm going to look that up immediately. Like
I
I think that
remember.
was the true ending.
So again, it's another point where I want the alternative ending superimposed right at this moment. If I don't see it, I'm very disappointed, Aaron. But
I don't know.
I remember again in the same vein of like his friend is doing everything right, thinking that okay, he's gone to the police. Fucking thank God, it's a black detective. Like okay, this is I can see the arc of this how this movie ends. And then when they burst out laughing, I felt it in the pit of my stomach, like, oh, he's so fucked. But I couldn't help but laugh as well. I was like, yes. Like because black people notoriously make crazy mistakes in horror films, or like the first to die is the cliche, right? Like we're the red shirts of
Yeah.
horror. So when I saw this happen, I was like, fuck yeah, Jordan Peele, goddamn right. And then he hit me in the face with a sledgehammer.
I think we should talk about Us because I feel like I'll just say right now, Get Out hits you with that sledgehammer much harder in Get Out than he does in Us.
Yeah.
A little bit of the messaging gets lost in Us, but in Get Out, it stays strong and prevalent throughout most of it, and even with but as much as I want the alternate ending now, now that you've told me, and I can't disconnect. I think both endings still clearly work, and speak to the message of the film. Like they still kind of work in their own way. One
I'm
works stronger, but one works.
The rating I'm about to give it is purely based on the edit that was added to the movie and not the alternative ending, even though I would have liked to see it. So when I rate this, I'm going to rate this movie as a must see. It is a 95. You have to see this movie. This movie is great.
Yeah.
Give it.
You know what? Yeah. I want to say, yeah, 95 is perfect.
Oh
Because
shit!
95 is perfect. High
I
five.
was wrong side, man. You high five the other way.
Oh, on my way, that's perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go. This guy. Yeah. Again, new digs, new set. We just rated not new set, new setting. We just rated Get Out 95. First time we've ever agreed on a rating, even though we've had some come close. But Aaron, what are your movie watching credentials? Why should anyone give a shit about what we have to say?
I say because growing up, it all started when I was a boy. I watched countless shows,
Yeah.
countless movies. I've forgotten as many as I've seen and remembered.
No
And
shit.
and I say I always, on my favorite movies, I always looked up the behind the scenes and I tried to see what makes the movie great. So I guess I appreciate the movie more to production, and then I could appreciate, well, as the movie as it is, and production, and how the movie came to be. Uh, I feel like that's a really rigorous process. As much as I'd love to just snap my fingers and make a movie, it takes months, so much planning, so much communication and work. I think the credentials I got is 25 years of movie watching and TV watching and critiquing. You know, sitting on my ass and using my brain and thinking why was this scene good and why wasn't this scene good? And you know what? I think it paid off.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I would shorten my credential list and just say my mind is polluted with useless movie and TV show quotes from shit that is too vague for pub trivia. Uh, I'm literally the cable guy from Jim Carrey's Cable Guy, which was also fucking dark. Um,
Oh yeah.
that's I've just seen a lot of this stuff, so yeah, like our rating or not, I'm gonna stick with my 95.
I'm gonna stick with the 95. Also, it's not 100 because it's not a perfect movie. There is there's one scene that bothers me a lot where at the end of the movie when spoiler when the main actor is being latched from the chair he has just been hypnotized into again, so he's unconscious right now. And then the brother comes in, the brother of the girlfriend, and she's undoing his latches, and he's about to carry him, and he he knocks him out. That's great. That I love the fuck out of that moment.
I
But then he
remember
picks
that.
up a deer head, and the symbolism of the deer head is great. The use of the deer head confuses me because the father of the girlfriend, we cut to him. He looks out in the hallway and he's like, "Oh, where's the son? He should be bringing the patient right now." And then he looks right, I guess for a slightly long enough time, and then he looks left, and then the main actor rams a deer head through his body, and
Yeah.
I'm like, you didn't hear duh, 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 you know what I mean, down a hallway, that fancy and echoey. I don't know. Yeah,
I can buy it. I think the most tense moments was when he comes up the stairs and confronts the mom. I'm like, oh, like it's like one of those westerns where you're both staring at the gun and it's like who's gonna get to the gun first. Uh,
yeah,
looking at the teacup instead of
yeah.
a gun, you're looking at a fucking teacup like that.
That,
Um,
that's the genius of that scene too. Like you feel like it should be a gun, but you feel that teacup is a gun, like it's a
dude, it
weapon.
feels like a bomb. It feels like a fucking bomb, right? And just, if she gets into it first, this entire place is Um, but I did philosophical. We're gonna bring back philosophical questions for the next one. We're gonna do cold reads on the next one, but just to tease the palette. Is any movie a perfect 100? I used to get mad when my teachers would say no one gets 100% because no one really fully understands this content, and you're just like, fuck you, I did 100% of what you asked me to do. But when I'm relating to rating a piece of art, does anything exist that's worth 100% in your mind?
I like to think we can find something that's 100%.
Challenge accepted. Right on. Uh, with that said, we've ranted a lot. We talked about Get Out. I think Get Out was the shortest segment of the day, but I still had a lot of fun. I'm Warren. That's Aaron. This is Movie Talk, and we hope that you guys join us for the next one. Peace.
Comment.
Ready? Fight, fight.